Have you ever wondered how some researchers seem to effortlessly get their work published, while others get stuck? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a program that claims to have systemized the whole process. It's called the ASPMIR Bootcamp 2.0. So let's dive in and see what it's all about. Okay, let's be real. This is the question that haunts so many researchers. You've poured months, maybe even years into your work. You've got the data, you've got these incredible findings, but actually getting it into a paper, that final step can feel like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. But what if you could change that? What if there was a system, not just another weekend workshop, but a real, structured system specifically designed to get you over that final hurdle? That's the promise here. So let's see how they actually plan to do it. All right, so what's the big idea? It's surprisingly simple, but incredibly intense. It all boils down to this: one single day to launch your entire project, followed by an 8-week all-out sprint to get it published. The whole program really stands on 3 pillars. First, you've got that 1-day intensive bootcamp. Then, there's the 8 weeks of hands-on mentoring. But honestly, the secret sauce seems to be this third pillar: 100% commitment. And that's not just from the students, it's from the experts and supervisors too. Everybody is all in right from the start. Now, you can probably guess, a program this demanding isn't just open to anyone. The selection process is tough. And you know what? It's tough for a good reason. They want to make absolutely sure that everyone who gets in is ready to hit the ground running and is fully committed to seeing it through. So, how do you get in? Well, it's a pretty clear 5-step journey. You start with your application, which leads to a screening process and then an interview. If you make the cut, you're selected. And that final step? Yep, you guessed it, signing a formal commitment agreement. That theme of commitment just keeps popping up. And before you even apply, there are some serious non-negotiables. Your research has to be at least 60% done, all your data needs to be collected and ready to go, and you have to be enrolled in a master's or PhD program. But the big one, you have to be able to dedicate at least 10 hours a week, no exceptions. They're clearly not looking for people who are just kinda interested. And here's a look under the hood at how they actually score the applications. Check this out. Publication readiness is worth a massive 40 points. That's the biggest chunk. This tells you everything. They're prioritizing researchers who are already close to the finish line and just need that structured final push to get their work out there. You need at least 60 points to even be considered. Okay, let's talk about the main event, the 1-day launch. This isn't just a simple kickoff meeting. This single day is where the magic happens, where the entire plan for the next 8 weeks is forged. And the philosophy behind this day is so important. They're very clear. You are not writing your entire manuscript in 1 day. That would be insane. Instead, it's all about building the foundation for success, creating a strong relationship with your expert mentor, hammering out a detailed roadmap, and of course, locking in that commitment. And that day is absolutely packed from start to finish. You kick off with a masterclass, then dive into intense one-on-one consultations to build out your personalized roadmap. And look at how it ends, with a formal commitment ceremony. Every single piece of this day is designed to build momentum and accountability. And here is the single most important outcome of that entire day. Nobody leaves with just some vague ideas or good intentions. Every single person walks out the door with a tangible, personalized week-by-week plan that shows them exactly how to get their manuscript submitted. That's a huge deal. So, you've got your plan. Now what? Well, that's when the 8-week sprint begins. This is where the rubber really meets the road, and you start executing that plan with a ton of support to make sure you cross the finish line. The first 2 weeks are all about laying a rock-solid foundation. The experts work with you to review your data, finalize the structure of your manuscript, and get a solid draft of that all-important method section. By the end of week 2, the goal is to have a complete and approved outline. Then, from weeks 3 to 6, it's go time. This is where the heavy lifting of writing the first draft happens. But here's the game changer. You get comprehensive feedback from an expert with a guaranteed 48-hour turnaround. Think about that. No more waiting weeks for feedback. This rapid cycle of writing and revising is absolutely crucial to making fast progress. And finally, in the last 2 weeks, the entire focus shifts to submission. This isn't just about writing, it's about getting it out the door. The program helps with everything: choosing the perfect journal, formatting your manuscript to their exact specs, and even drafting a compelling cover letter. The final deliverable is simple and sweet: manuscript submitted. So, all of this sounds great, but how do they actually make sure people follow through? Well, this final part is all about how they enforce that commitment and, more importantly, how they measure success. It's all about delivering real results. And we're back to the commitment agreement. This thing is the backbone of the entire program. It's a formal pact signed by you, your supervisor, and your expert mentor. It literally puts that 10-hour weekly minimum and all your key deadlines down on paper. It creates this powerful triangle of accountability. And when it comes to measuring success, they don't mess around. There's one primary metric that matters more than anything else. Did you submit at least one manuscript to a peer-reviewed journal? That's it. It's a crystal clear goal for every single person in the program. And they set some seriously ambitious targets for the program as a whole. They're aiming for over a 90% completion rate, which is incredible. They want to see over 20 manuscripts completed and 15 submitted. But check out that last one, a 50% acceptance rate within 6 months. That tells you this isn't just about submitting papers. It's about submitting high-quality work that actually gets published. So when you boil it all down, it's this simple. 1 day to commit and build the plan, 8 weeks to execute and deliver, and the ultimate goal? To give you the skills and the momentum for a lifetime of publication excellence. It's not just about one paper, it's about changing how you approach research. Looking at a system this structured and intense really makes you think. It's a fascinating model for bridging that massive gap between having great research and actually getting it published. So the real question is, are you ready to accelerate your research? What would it take for you to make that leap?